You know, Jen, what you just said about being in the valley, Frank, what you shared, um, touches me deeply because I have plenty of this. And I'm also in this place of my own struggles, really skeptical. You know, it's all the skeptical part of me says it's all bullshit. There's nothing except you and your pitiful life until it's over. You know, it's pretty harsh and pretty cruel. So, you know, I'm like some of us here, I'm in the later stages of life. I'm 76. My diagnosis adds an element that makes me want to come to like whatever understanding I can come to around, you know, what the experience of being a human being is underneath all this crap that we struggle with. So, you know, that word faith, it implies it's faith in something out there. It also gets mixed up with the word belief, like I have to believe something to have faith. And what I want to share is what I've discovered for myself is I don't have to believe anything to feel faith. Really, to feel faith, the only thing I need to do is turn to the human being that I am in my struggle and just feel authentic, deep compassion for the struggle. Just to see how hard the struggle is right now for me. Somehow in that moment, I'm having an experience of not being alone. The one who feels alone, who's so totally caught up in the struggle and things not working out and all the harsh statements of I've wasted my life and blah, 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 blah. And what I wanted to say, Frank, is there's something archetypally human and profound in our struggle with finding our faith. This is at the heart of any deep, authentic spiritual journey. When you read about people who've really grappled with this, there's a lot of darkness that, you know, we're stumbling through on our human journey. And just that turning to it with kindness, like, wow, I see you're really lost right now. Full stop, without offering advice or saying, why don't you try some yoga or some kale or, you know. So, you know, I'm saying a lot, but let me try to make it more crystal clear, which is the lack of faith is when I feel alone. That's the worst feeling for me, is to feel all alone, completely alone, right? Doesn't matter how many people tell me they love me or, you know, that in that moment of turning to that part of me and just saying, I'm here with you, that's what faith means. I can feel something with me. What is that something? Well, I call it love with a capital L. And I would say here that when we use the God word, love and God are the same thing. So, you know, Frank, to really honor your struggle and around faith, and I'm not a Christian, yet I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and not in a religious way. And I can tell you the moment that became possible after a lifetime of skepticism from religious wounding as a Catholic, it's when it really sank in that Jesus is there on the cross, dying, and says, "Father, Father, why have you forsaken me?" Wow. That gives me room for all my own skepticism and despair and cynicism and doubt, feeling abandoned, feeling all alone, right? And, you know, the gospel tells us that just shortly after saying that, he also said, "Into your hands I commend my spirit," and just let go, right? So, you know, we can all have understandings why Christianity is such a powerful force on the planet for good and for evil, equally so, right? And I would say that this moment, these two statements, is at the crux of it. Then he accepted himself as he was in that moment, right? The lack of faith. And as we do that, that's where the faith comes in. Because what we're saying when we accept ourselves is, I don't believe anything, yet somehow I have an experience that there's something more to me than the hell that I'm in right now. And that's my personal definition of faith. When I have that experience, there's something more to me than the hell I'm in right now. It's very personal. You say all the things that we can study don't really help us in that letting go. And as humans, that's the great struggle, to let go. So what I'm offering here is that accepting where we don't want to let go, we let it go. You know, some of you have already heard me say this story about back in the 18th century when the Quaker movement was very strong. And one of the teachers was Carl Fox, and a student of his was William Penn, a soldier, very proud of being a soldier, carried his sword everywhere he went, very dignified, well-dressed, you know, the whole persona of being a gallant knight. And as William Penn kept studying with Carl Fox and very moved by the pacifism and the nonviolence in the Quaker movement, he asked Fox, "How long can I wear my sword?" And Fox answered, "As long as you can." Right? This to me really captures that. How long can I stay in my doubt and my unwillingness to surrender to something deeper than just what's going on inside of me? It's at that moment where we've just tried everything else and we're just exhausted. You know, that's when we let something in that we were keeping out. So I guess I could say it's not even faith in God, it's faith in myself, yet it's not even in myself, the persona, the character, the body. It's like whatever this gift of life is that I've been given, as is, right? Not how I expect it to be or feel it has to be for me to be acceptable.